And we are live, episode 6 of the Recap Room. As always, the best episode yet. We haven't even started. I already know it's going to be the best episode yet because, like I said, each episode we get better and better. And that's the beauty of doing this. So it's good to see you guys. Good to be with the fellow Recap members. We got Sasha. We got Gordy. How you guys doing today?
We're good.
Why are you laughing at me? What's so funny about this?
No, you're just turning into like what are those people that do the sports?
Like a talk show, like radio guy?
Yeah.
I mean,
or like that movie with Robin Williams where you're like, good morning, Vietnam.
I was always told I had a face for radio, so it works out perfectly.
Face for radio.
But how's everybody's week? How was everybody's weekend? I know Gordy had a somewhat eventful weekend. He was out of town.
Yeah, I was at my sister's graduation.
Shout out Lauren. Congratulations. Congratulations.
2 for 2 in graduations.
Yeah.
I graduated. Shocker. But, I graduated.
Couldn't even say the word shocker.
Yeah.
See? Shocker.
How was the graduation? Was it a good time?
It was good. It was fun, but it was a long weekend, and trying to balance the weekend with being in the heart of the busy season is very difficult. So it was kind of like a new experience for me that I had to adapt to.
You handled it like a professional and with grace, with that Gordy grace that we all know and love.
Yeah,
all your clients know and love.
He's so graceful.
I'm as smooth as it gets. I mean, come on.
Like butter. Smooth like butter.
Smooth like butter.
Sasha, what about you?
I had a good weekend. Had a little bit more of a busier-ish weekend-ish.
Yeah.
Sort of. I don't know how to. I had some of your stuff.
Yeah, thank you, Sasha. Shout out, Sasha, helping me out.
This is what we do, though, for each other, which is really great, I'd say, is when, for example, I will be out of town in a week for the weekend. So now, scratch his back, he scratched mine.
She knocks on the door, the dog answers.
That's right. So gracefully.
They're barking. Yeah, no, it is. It's one of the biggest benefits of being. It's one of the biggest benefits of being on a team, though. Yeah. It's like if we need to help each other, there's somebody. Nice. And one of my rules that I set is no matter what, at least until we get out of busy season, 2 people have to be in Chicago and 1 person can leave. I know Sasha's rolling her eyes at me,
blah,
but
blah,
I'm
blah,
telling
blah.
you, it's true.
It
Works out
it
fine.
It makes sense, but I'm just being annoying.
But it is good. Like as long as we have 2 people here, we can handle it for now.
It's better than not being on a team and having to send out a company-wide email like, "Hey, I'm gone this weekend. Can somebody help me?"
Yeah, and
that's
kind of
typically
scrambling.
So tell us about how you would do this before we came into the business.
I would spend about an hour in my room crying, and then after that, I
still do that.
I still do that, but that usually is a little bit earlier now because I wake up earlier. No, but before I would honestly, it would just be colleagues in the office, and I'd text them or call them with notice, being like, "Hey, I'm going out of town. I'm going on vacation. Whatever. Can you cover my showings for this time and pay them a set amount per showing or whatever?" And it's fine. But what's nice now is when somebody comes and work with us, they know no matter what they're going to be working with a Recap Group agent, no matter what.
Yeah.
Right? Like they know they're going to be getting that same level of service, whether it's Gordy, whether it's Sasha, whether it's me. And so it just makes it so much nicer that it's all under one umbrella versus when you're kind of working solo, you're just getting people that you can to cover for you. Yeah. So, you guys knocked it out of the park.
How was your weekend?
It was good. I'm down to my last week of training for this boxing match. I just post on Instagram about it.
Yeah, we got to censor
everybody
that.
check out.
It's kind of a ridiculous post. It's a shirtless post. I get it. Not typically my speed, but we raised a lot of money from it. I've been training really, really hard.
It was a post for charity.
It was it was a
post. It had me bricked up though. That's all I gotta say.
Gordy was in on this picture. I think Gordy was the most hyped up about this picture than anybody.
I was going crazy.
I couldn't even comment on it.
Yeah, I don't think. But honestly, after posting it, I know we joke, but right after I posted it, I raised $800.
Awesome.
After that.
That's amazing.
And it got me pretty much to my goal.
Why.
Yeah. So that's and really that's the crux of what this is for.
The abs, the lighting. Too much was going on for me.
It all came together, and now the real that's just a picture. Now in a week we have the actual fight.
I'm excited.
And honestly, it's to the point now where it's become a second job. So I'm just excited. I'm as excited for it to be done as I am for the fight itself. Yeah. Even though that maybe sounds bad.
Yeah.
It's I'm excited to getting back to being able to focus all my mental brain power back onto work and helping the team grow, because I feel like honestly for the last like 3-4 months I've just been kind of not coasting, but I haven't been able to give you guys as much as I typically would be able to, and like I haven't sacrificed with my clients because I've been able to delegate it amongst you and Gordy.
Totally.
But it's going to be nice because I think after this is done, it's going to be.
I mean, imagine doing this as like a solo agent. What if you were doing the fight and having this many clients as like a solo agent?
I
don't know how you would handle that.
And I think everybody, I mean, again, I'm sure everybody's like handles it differently, and some people aren't training, whatever. Like, but
your type of training,
if you know me, you know, like I can't do something, especially to that caliber, and not put all my effort into it.
No, that you know what? It's a good quality though.
I think
it's a great quality that you have. I think that you can never half-ass anything. You're like 100% or nothing.
Yeah.
And that's really good.
Yeah, I think it's one of our. I think
can be bad.
I think across the board.
You do it in a good way every time.
I think across the board though, we all kind of embody that in different ways, right? Like it just depends on what it is that we're doing, right? Like this for me is something physical, but I mean we all, and this is kind of going to be a perfect segue into what this episode is going to be about, and it's kind of balancing life as a business owner, as a young entrepreneur, as a real estate broker, anything like that. And that's kind of what I think today's episode is going to be about. And what better way to kind of segue into that than talking about what we just talked about, which is me balancing obviously my work and this new thing we're taking on, and all the different components, and family and friends and all those different things. So what do you guys think has been the biggest challenge for you personally? I mean, again, starting from ground zero, I think people sometimes underestimate how much effort and willpower it takes, and self-confidence and motivation to do what you guys are doing. And I know I cannot overstate that. That makes sense. Yeah, I cannot overstate that because it really does. This is not easy to do.
No. You want to go first?
Yeah, Gordy, start us off.
I could probably just say from like, maybe it's recency bias, but this past weekend was probably the biggest challenge I faced this year, because when you're traveling, like I said, in the heart of the busiest time, and there was a lot of stuff going on, I was trying to balance it where I would have Sasha be like, all right, I got to schedule all this and show you where this is at, and then I have to talk to these clients.
But then I also had my own business to take care of at the same time, so like trying to delegate both.
Yeah, it was like trying to balance all that out, and like also understand like I'm at a graduation. I can't.
You should still enjoy the like.
Yeah.
I think one thing you need to work on too.
Yeah.
I think he needs to work on it the most, but you too as well.
And if you're not watching on video, she said he and pointed directly into my soul.
So through your soul. That was piercing.
Like seriously, is learning to like be present. In the moment. I think that a lot of time our job is 7 days a week, 24/7 year round. I think that. You know, it's really hard to see that from an outside perspective, but you take that to freaking heart. Mm-hmm. And I think that there are times where like, you know, you're on vacation and like he is still working 100%. And I'm like, all right, just be present with your family and still like be on that vacation. Just like this weekend where I was like, okay, you let me know what's up by Thursday before you leave. But then again, things can change like in a day. So it's hard sometimes to like completely like check out. We really can't. But
that was the hardest part for me.
That was hard for you,
I was like, I mean, every single day I was there, I was working for multiple hours, constantly just on. And then my biggest issue that I'm trying to work on is like tempering my emotions when I'm in, like when I'm not here. Yeah. Sometimes I get like stressed and crazy, and I'm just like, I'm not even thinking straight anymore. Yep. And then I'm like, you're spiraling. You're literally spiraling.
You're just reacting instead of pragmatic.
So I have to learn to like, okay, take the emotional side out of it. But Michael actually put me on a really good podcast that I listened to. That was a good one.
Yeah. There's been some. I try and share as much as I can outside of just like with you guys, outside of information that I just learn, like things that I'm learning, because I am far from like, I guess quote unquote my title is like team lead, but like I am so far from like a perfect person as a role model and all these different things. I have some really good qualities, but I have things that I consistently try and evolve and work on. And one of those things like Sasha talked about just now, like being present in the moment and all those different aspects, like those are things that are 1,000% true that like I am actively working on and trying to get better at, and I don't want those, like that's one thing that I think we all in life just get to. It's like you see these people who are maybe you look up to or whatever, and you want to embody so much of them, but you don't realize that like they're humans just like you, and they have good qualities and they have bad qualities.
Totally.
So not like we like to think in this such black and white, like, oh, this person I look up to them in work and sports and whatever. So everything that they do becomes right. And everything they do becomes perfect, and everything else against that is not.
I think that teeters into like our parents. Like we always think our parents are right, and then we grow up and we're like, nah.
Yeah,
not as right as I thought you were.
Mom and dad, a little cuckoo.
I know. Yeah, like they're just learning their way. You know what I mean? It all kind of flows into each other. So I think that's a big part of it. And in this business, like you were talking about, it is nonstop. And you need to set boundaries with people. Otherwise, they're just going to... And it's not anything they're doing wrong. If a client texts you at 10 o'clock and you respond at 10:01, they're going to keep texting you at 10 o'clock and expecting a response at 10:01. But if you set up a boundary, which I haven't done, and I'm, again, sort of trying to work through that, where it's like, you know, if you text me at 10 o'clock, you may not get a response till tomorrow because I may be hanging out with my friends or I may be with my family. And that's okay. You know what I mean?
I know, but I think that there was a very long time where that was not okay for you.
Oh, yes. Pretty much literally up until like a few months ago. I hadn't even like realized
I think it's totally okay. I think that in the beginning, we feel like we have to. Like, well, I mean...
We kind of...
We do have to.
In the beginning.
There's no way we can't. In the beginning.
Yeah. I mean,
you're still in the beginning.
For sure.
But still, like, there are still things where it can't, like, take up everything and everything about, like, it literally, I think that in the beginning was really difficult for me, was that it would, like, drain all my energy, and then I would be, like, not,
you wouldn't have any left over?
I wouldn't want to hang out with people.
Yeah.
I was like, Mom, Dad, I'll see you next month. I'll fly home, I guess. Or something, or I'd be like, no, I don't have any time. I don't want to, you know?
Yeah.
Which is really difficult living far away from my family, too, is like I have to go and like schedule time. Right. But also like our business changes day to day. So I'm like, I don't even know if I'm free tomorrow for lunch. Like, so how am I supposed to schedule something like a month or two out? Mm-hmm. So doing that, I literally, like at the beginning, I think I didn't go home for like 5 months.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's something that like...
I went home for one day to surprise my little brother for his birthday, and then I came home.
Came right back. And
And
that's one thing that Gordy and I obviously really respect about you, because Gordy and I obviously don't have to deal with that because we have family right around the corner. I mean,
I literally
Gordy lives
at
with his family.
I got new roommates, you know?
I live an hour away from my family, so the fact that you have to get on a flight and go see your family, like, it's not... I genuinely can't imagine.
I wouldn't be able to fathom that, like, doing that and like having to deal with that, and it would be too much.
And dealing with starting your own business. Yeah. No,
but I could never do that.
No, I literally could never.
Gordy means it in the most heartfelt way possible.
I was going to swear.
No,
that sucks.
I think I swore I've sworn before in other episodes, so
I haven't sworn yet on any.
Hey, Gordy's been a good boy.
Wow. Shocking.
He said some other crazy stuff, but no swears.
No swearing.
Like, what are you talking about?
No, I'm. It's like bro talk, right? I'm just like, you know,
just boys, just locker room talk.
Throwing out with you.
Yeah, just the.
Did you just see what she did? She was like, just the boys.
She was trying to fist bump.
It was not that's not a fist bump.
I was trying to fist bump. You took it the wrong way.
Oh my gosh, okay. Gordy's in timeout. You're in podcast jail for now. Yeah. 2 minutes.
But I think we should talk about. Okay, so this might be like not. I don't know, like what we were saying earlier is like the emotional aspect of this work. So I think that a lot of people kind of look at realtors just like the stigma is like kind of cold-hearted. Yeah. Like
I think any business professional sometimes they kind of, or like person who's running their own business, they're just trying to make money, you know, like they just want, but
they're in it for one thing.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
But
I think at the end of the day, like this is also just like fulfillment for myself. It's not the money. It's like if my clients are happy, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Are you flirting with me right now? What's going on?
Yeah, that's for sure what's happening.
You feel so good.
So after. Good. Yeah. Like after a deal, like let's say there's like a bidding war and we win, like I win it. I'm like, wow, like I put my work to use and like
100%.
I feel of value.
Yeah.
And it's like so rewarding and I haven't even gotten paid yet.
Yeah.
Like I don't
No.
care about that. And some of them I don't get paid on.
Yeah.
And when I say
Like
some,
50%.
I say 50%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Literally
But it's like
50%.
cool though. You win a bidding war, you call your clients like, "Hey, we actually won," and they're
Yeah.
like, "Really? We
Yeah.
won?" You're like, "Yeah, I
Yeah.
did that. We did that.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I'm sitting there like,
We did that.
I'm really good at my
No,
job.
it is fun. It's not, and you're like growing a relationship with someone maybe you've never even met before, and then all of a sudden you're working with them through like the ups and downs because there's so many peaks and valleys in
Yeah.
this business. Especially like clients have to learn it like in the summertime, especially it's harder. And you work with someone, you grow with them, and then they find the place they love, and you keep their relationship, and it's special.
Yeah.
It's not talked about enough how special that is.
No.
Yeah, but also I think that let's say they love a place.
Yeah.
There's multiple other applications and things. We do our best to make you find the first place be the one that you get. You know what I mean? Like we want it just as bad as you, but I think sometimes I want it so much more.
Yeah.
Like we lose out, and I cry a little bit.
And that's like, but that's like,
I'm not gonna lie. And
At
Gordy's
the-
like, yeah. Sure.
at the start of your, when you're
Yeah.
like the first year or two of, at least in my career, like it was the same way. I was so, I mean, there was
Like,
nights,
devastation.
like I would, like,
Yeah.
like to the point where I would be like, I wouldn't be able to sleep because I'm like,
No.
my clients hate me now.
Yes.
They think I'm the worst. They think I'm terrible at my job.
Yes.
Or
That's how it
you
felt
know,
at the beginning.
Yeah.
That was bad.
And
It still feels like that.
it's, yeah, there's
gotten
still
better,
remnants
though.
of that, but
no, it doesn't feel better. I'm literally like,
you still go to
We're
bed
gonna
just
work on
bawling.
that one. We need to work on this one.
Well,
for
I think it all goes back to the point where it's like when you own a business, and we're all business owners, we're all
Yeah.
independent contractors running our own business. Yeah, sure, we're all under one umbrella, but at the end of the day, we are, right?
yes.
I think it's inevitable that you start tying if you don't know any better, like you just start tying a lot of your worth and your value to the success of your business, and that's a horrible path to go on. I could tell you that from experience. You cannot tie like, oh, my day's good because I closed 2
Yeah, no,
rentals,
you can't-
and then my day's going to be crap because my clients just lost. Like, sure, it could be initial gut punch, but then you move on from it, right? Like, you can't let it ruin your. I know Sasha's laughing.
This
because
is-
I'm not
yeah.
speaking directly at you.
This
I'm
is totally
speaking from
I'm
just.
Still thinking about the one from 2 weeks ago.
Oh my god! And she's about to start crying too. I think she literally might. But it's so
Yo,
true.
Big girls don't cry. Fergie,
Okay.
big girls don't
No,
cry.
there was one day I came into the office and I was talking to Gordy about work, and I literally was like tearing up.
Yeah.
And he didn't say a word and just started playing Big Girls Don't Cry.
That's how I deal with my emotions. I teeter the line of robot.
Wait,
slash-
that's how you deal with your emotions by just playing Fergie?
yeah, Fergie. Big
playing
girls don't
music.
cry.
And I was like, yeah, they do.
Yeah, she was just nodding. Yeah, I think
Or
sometimes.
just hit the gym. Honestly, like whenever I'm like stressed and depressed, I just hit
The
legs.
gym stresses me out more, man.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
See,
We're not
you can't
going
win
down
with
that
this
route.
one.
this is why you don't give advice to her on how to handle this. You just listen.
You get on the hack squat. You get into a different
You
mode.
throw a few plates on that hack squat, all your problems go
Yeah,
away.
like I don't get a deal. I'm
I
like,
don't
all
even
right,
know what that is. I don't.
Get on the hack squat. You turn up that volume. All
pretty
of a
much,
sudden-
pretty much Gordy.
You got Fred Durst in your ear. Ooh,
just
No.
killer.
Who's that?
Lead singer Limp Bizkit.
We'll get Sasha on Limp Bizkit.
Yeah,
Thank you.
eventually.
I'll do like
I
a
don't-
soul-
honestly, Gordy, I don't think we're.
Maybe
I don't think
one
you're
day I'll
gonna
come in
do
with like a
that.
soul patch like Fred Durst.
You already got a great beard, so it wouldn't be hard to get the soul.
Thank you.
patch.
I'll shave it for next week.
No.
Keep it. I like it.
Okay. All right.
I like it. I
What
think
about
it's
like a
good look.
goatee?
I wish I could grow a beard like that.
Ooh.
You probably could.
No, how? What? Freaking put Miracle Grow on my freaking face?
WD-40 or
Yeah,
or
just put on,
what's that
like-
other one called?
The Rogaine?
Rogaine.
Yeah.
it's
They
like
have like beard grower stuff.
I've tried.
How,
trust me.
how
wait.
consistent have
No,
you
he
been?
has tried. I know.
I've tried.
What,
the
you did it
beard
once, it didn't
stuff.
work?
No,
I
I'll
will
do
say
the
though, your
stuff.
beard, you think it grows really bad, but it just grows like here. You just need to be fuller up here.
Yeah, but God made me the way He made me, so it is what it is.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
fine with it.
perfect
I'm
the
fine
way
with
you
it.
are.
I'm
Listen,
perfect
the
way I
Instagram
am.
post is, would I rather have the beard or that body? I can't decide.
Listen,
No, I would want that body.
I want the body and the beard because that's just next level.
Yeah.
I would have arrested you. That's assault. That's literal assault.
can't
Yeah.
with this. Wait, no, you were saying something.
I was talking about just tying your value though to like your business and how
Yeah.
inevitable that is. But like you just got to make sure when you're in any like independent contractor, solo business that you do from the start, learn from my mistake. You do not start off by tying the value of you as a person to how well your business does. Because at the end of the day, you are valuable as a person, whether your business does 10 million in sales, 1 million in sales, 0 in sales, a gajillion in sales. It does not matter. It literally does not matter one bit. And I thought for so long, it's like, oh, well, I'm working so hard right now because in a year, I'm going to be able to enjoy it. And then a year comes and I'm like, well, I'm going to keep working so hard because in a year from now, I'm going to be able to enjoy it. Well, now I'm 4 years in and I'm like, I've been on this hamster wheel for so long. I need to settle down and actually enjoy
be in the
present moment like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's honestly, that is more important to me than any dollar amount, any amount of money that we close or deals that we close. If we can all get to that point, that's a victory.
Yeah.
That's a victory.
I will say something though. I think I completely agree with you, like completely. But I think the one thing that's hard to do, especially like I don't know about you, but for like in our being in the really early stages, like I'm 1 year in.
Yeah.
Thank God I've made it this far.
Hey, you've made it past most real estate agents.
But I think I have two things. But one is like, yes, I want to live in the present moment too. Like we're really young, you know, like only this age once kind of thing, and still like living life. But at the same time, like I feel guilty sometimes going out or doing something.
Yeah, I felt that way.
Like
you feel like you're gonna miss out on.
I'm missing out on like work, or maybe I should be working, and then I feel guilty because it's so early that like I still am like, you know, like obviously we're working and I feel like good about the work we're doing and I'm learning a ton. Yeah. But obviously the compensation is not wonderful in the beginning, and that's just any business starting a business.
Most businesses aren't even profitable for 3 years.
Exactly. So with that being said, it's difficult to like justify and letting myself have fun.
Enjoy. I 100% get it.
Like I go and then the next day I'm like in shambles.
It's like a therapy. This is like a therapy session.
This was me last weekend though. I was like, why am I going to my sister's graduation? I have work to do. And then I was still like, why am I here? But then I was like, all right, I got to be like here. This is a huge moment for her. And I'm like thinking about work.
This is something I would have never said like 2 or 3 years ago. But like before, like 2 or 3 years ago, I would have been like, yeah, you have to make these sacrifices because, and there's a certain level of that's true.
We still do make the sacrifices, but I think we're not as extreme.
But like, there's things, it's not sacrificing milestones with your family, like a sister's graduation or a brother's birthday party. Sure, if your friends are all going out at 11 o'clock like they do every single weekend and you're missing one of those nights out with your friends because you got showings in the morning, yeah, that's what you signed up for.
Exactly.
You know, you got to do that sometimes. But there's a way to balance it and a way to be at that happy medium that it does not need to be all or nothing. And I screwed that up for my first at least 2 to 3 years of being in this business. And again, you live and you learn. I don't regret any of it because it brought me to this point.
Totally.
But I want you guys to learn from all the mistakes that I've made because it already has. I mean, you guys are already at such a further point 1 year into the business than I was. And if you can continue to learn from there's a Kaplan saying, take a drink. But it's something along the lines of like, smart people learn from their mistakes, but really smart people learn from other people's mistakes. And that's like what I want everybody to
I like that
do.
Too.
And that's what I try and do, you know, and look at other people in my life and be like, okay, well, what have they done that I can take and what have they done that I can kind of leave and
I will say one more thing. It's a little bit more off topic, but still on the topic of like starting your own business and being an entrepreneur. I think especially for us going to college, also like it took some convincing in my family.
Yeah.
I know it took didn't it take convincing in yours as well?
Yeah.
Like I had to tell my parents, "Hey, I'm leaving this corporate job that gives me a comfortable salary to start something from zero."
Yeah.
And they're like, what the heck is wrong with you?
I know. I think we all had our own kind of version of that. Gordy with law school. And
it was mostly with law, but then when I showed my dad how much the tuition was, he's like, oh yeah, go do this.
He's like, great. Not a problem.
Not a problem at all. Yeah. You know, so.
No, I mean, for me, it took convincing. I think probably, honestly, it took the most convincing, maybe convincing not the right word, but probably with Sasha. I think for you, it probably was maybe I mean, for me, it was, my parents didn't require, I didn't need to convince them because they almost believed in me more than I believed in myself.
Which is, I think, was really, you needed that in the beginning.
Like, they believed in me and other people believed in me. Like, I'm not one of these people who, like, I had all these haters that doubted me and looking where, because you know all those people on Instagram, they like,
oh my God,
like make up these like fake people. It's like,
if you're that,
stop. Yeah, if you're that, stop. But it's true. Like, I grew up with two great parents in a loving family, had a great upbringing. My parents trusted me to do whatever I thought was right for me, and they believed in me a lot more than I believed in myself. And I feel like finally now getting to a point where I'm believing in myself just as much as other people are believing in me, which is kind of like, that's the sweet spot.
That was the reason why my parents were on board with it, because they were like, wait, you're working with Michael? And I actually didn't even know that I was going to be working with Sasha when you first told me.
Yeah.
Which is even funnier. But when they said, oh, you're working with Michael, like, that's, they've always believed in you.
With Sasha?
They're like, oh, Sasha.
I don't know about her. She's a little crazy.
No, my parents like Sasha more than me.
Yeah.
That's not hard to do, though, I feel like.
But I love your parents.
Yeah, Gordy's parents.
Spent the whole weekend with them.
I'm not going to, you know what? You guys can go. Bring your parents. I'm going to hang out with your parents.
Yeah, we'll do another episode. Sasha hosts, and it's just going to be all of our parents.
Oh my God. It would be the dream come true.
I think Sasha would love that.
I would love every second of it. Me and your dad would be eating dessert.
Yeah, you guys would be just pounding some ice cream.
Yeah, your dad is the king of dessert, though.
He is the king of dessert. He is the king of dessert. He loves it. But yeah, I mean, I think all those things, like, what convincing, not convincing. I mean, for me, I know the only person that, not convincing, but
you told me this too.
I think it was honestly who was kind of skeptical about it at the start was my grandma. She'd always bring up, college is always there if you want to go back. And would you ever think about going back? I think we're far past that point. I think now she sees what I'm doing and is like, okay, this kid. And there was a lot. I will say, I know I just kind of made fun of people saying they're all these haters and whatever. There were quite a few people who said what I was doing was very dumb. And told me what I was doing was not a good idea in terms of dropping out and starting something completely from scratch. Like, there were quite a few people that said that. Now, it wasn't like this sob story where you're like born into poverty, but there were quite a few people that were telling me like, you better really think long and hard about this but
I remember when you first started, we were living together.
Yeah.
I was like, I like this. He was planting the seed in me indirectly.
I thought he was crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't.
I straight up was like, this guy is delusional.
And now she knows me. Now she knows I'm crazy.
Yeah, she's like, wait, he actually is crazy. But I like working with him. Like,
I knew he was crazy.
Come on, like Steve Jobs started Apple in a garage.
Yeah,
Michael started recap in a fucking college apartment.
Yeah. No, it ended up being the right decision. And again, I'm not saying it's the right decision for everybody because it's definitely not.
No.
Like, I have 2 siblings. A sister who's a teacher, and a brother who's an accountant. Like, they needed to do the college route. Like, there's no way around that. Like, that's their path, and they're living and thriving and super happy, and I'm like, that's awesome. I had a different route, and everybody's got to do what's right for them.
Yeah.
You can't sit there and try and be like, like super cookie cutter and try and fit into a certain box because it's not one size fits all.
That's true. That's true.
Definitely not.
I don't know. But I will say, oh, wow.
Careful.
Did you hear your funny bone?
Is it the funny bone?
She's injured.
Cut.
IR.
Yeah, she's done.
She's out the next episode. She's out for 4 to 6 weeks.
This is another excuse to be like, now I don't need to go to like the gym or anything anymore.
Load management.
I already don't.
Minimum few games missed.
Yeah, I don't go to the gym anyway, but no excuse.
No, you're a yogi now.
Yeah, I do a lot of hot yoga, guys.
Did anybody notice Sasha's hair, or was I the only one who noticed this?
Sasha's actually going to start boxing, and she's going to fight in the real estate rumble next year. So,
everybody,
if you want to see
her hair, just take a look at her hair. She got her hair done, and we got yelled at for not noticing. I just want to throw that out there.
That is true. Right away,
I did not yell at you.
It was a shot. It was definitely a cheap shot.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way we were gonna know.
She's
You're
like,
like,
oh.
Gordy's like my, like, act like you're like we've been married for 12, like 50
like an
years.
old married couple.
I didn't do
married
anything.
and divorced
You didn't
about
notice my
7
hair?
times.
Here innocently, and she's yelling at me like, if the glove don't fit, you must quit.
Yeah, she was. You guys go back and forth. You guys bicker a lot. I try and completely just remove myself and only get involved if I need to as the parent and like separate the kids.
Do you know what I've learned?
All right, Gordy, you're going in this room. Sasha's going in this room.
Yeah, but here's what I've learned. No matter what I say, I'm wrong. So then I don't
I
say
am always
anything.
right.
But guess what? I'm
you're
still wrong.
But you know what? You're learning though. That's the key.
Right.
Yeah, but if I say something, I'm wrong. If I don't say something, I'm wrong. So what I've learned is I wake up and I just go, apologize to Sasha right away. Just get it out of the way now.
Just text her right away.
Whatever I'm about to do today, I'm so sorry.
I am sorry ahead of time
Yeah.
for any sins I commit today.
Because I haven't done anything, but I wake up and I'm like, reminder, apologize, Sasha, right now.
Yeah. But I will give Sasha so much props for being the only chick on this team.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because it is.
Excuse me.
Well,
I'm kidding.
yeah, not with that beard. But I will say that, like, it is not. Again, it's not easy doing what we're doing regardless.
Yeah,
like, no
yeah.
matter what Gordy's doing, what you're doing, it's difficult. But Sasha is the only girl here, and I know sometimes it is nice to have female interaction and counterparts that are like similar to you, because we probably have some of the same interests, but some things that aren't. Probably a lot of things that aren't.
Yeah.
And you handle it very well, and
Thanks.
I know we really appreciate that, because Gordy and I are like sometimes just testosterone filled idiots. Most
Sometimes?
of the time. Yeah, most of the time.
I'm never like that.
all the time.
Yeah, you're definitely more.
He's
like
literally
that
talking
than I
about
am.
meal preps
Yeah,
all day long.
We were just talking about the hack squat machine about 10 minutes ago.
Do you girls do hack squat?
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
We're gonna get Gordy on
Better start
film.
learning hack squat, buddy.
We're gonna get Gordy on film doing a hack squat promo.
No,
or a
let's
hack
not.
squat
Let's
instructional
not.
video.
No, you know what? I like working on a team with two guys. I think it's really fun.
Yeah.
You guys keep me in check. I think that at times I can, break down a bit. I'll say that.
We've definitely, like, I think out of all the girls around, you've probably definitely gotten like toughened up a lot by being around us, because we don't.
Just on the outside.
Yeah, or just maybe
Oh my
not.
God.
She's gonna break. All right, she's gonna start crying again, guys.
3 times on this podcast, she's
And now
almost
we're-
like broken
and now,
down.
And now we're gonna have to separate
Yeah.
her and Gordy, because then they're gonna start fighting.
I haven't even done anything. I will play Big Girls Don't Cry. My phone's not on me. I could sing it, but I won't.
We don't want to hear that, but
No.
yeah, I think
It's really good. I think first of all, kind of navigating your own business, you have to like take the emotions out of it.
Yeah.
Really hard to do. I mean, I'm sure you guys deal with that too,
Yeah.
but like I think some days more than others, I might deal with it more. But I've gotten a lot better at it. I think in the beginning, I literally my mood would completely be based on how the day went at work. I think now it still does a little bit, but like a lot less. But I do my best not to, but I try not to like sweat it as much. Like things will happen and I'm like, damn, like that sucks. And I feel like people hate me.
I know.
People, the thing that really is difficult is like, even on my end, like before I became an agent, like I had no freaking idea what agents did.
Yeah.
I probably think exactly what 95% of the people think.
Yeah,
Like what I thought.
Yeah.
Is like,
And
no,
what
they
would
don't.
that be? Like
They don't do much, and they just schedule tours and take us on tours. Is what I thought.
Yeah.
Not true, guys.
Yeah.
Just letting you know.
Yeah.
It's a lot more than that, and there's a lot of learning to do. And I think, like, I probably have learned, like, not even 5% of what I could.
Yeah,
out
we
of
just
100.
dipped our toes in.
Yeah.
Dipped
like
our
just
toes.
started getting involved.
And with that, I think, like, what was I even saying? I'm totally losing my train of
No,
thought right now.
But you were like, people don't know what agents do, and you
Behind the
yes.
scenes, like behind the scenes.
Yeah. So like things do happen that like fall through or something like that, I think it's really easy for people to be like, it's your fault. I feel like they blame us. I can assure you, there's really like.
I think people don't understand this concept. We only get paid when the deal closes.
Correct.
Exactly.
So it isn't like if something happens in the transaction, even if we mess up, like the idea, I mean, you could have a horrible, like there's a lot of bad agents. I am going to say there are, obviously are.
Yeah.
Like there's bad of any profession. But like the idea that like, oh, my agent sucks and is trying to deliberately like sabotage things or like whatever, like it wouldn't make sense.
No.
Because then they're
not getting paid.
They're not
it's
getting,
outlandish.
yeah.
It's like what?
Yeah, like and
they're doing their best because they know that like the only way for them to get paid is to put 120% into it.
Yeah, and
all of it is free work until you sign a lease.
Yeah,
Correct.
or sign a lease, or buy or sell, whatever
Exactly.
it is. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Whatever the transaction calls for.
Exactly. But then again, I will say that there are a lot of like 50% of the work we do is for free.
Yeah.
And that just happens based on like circumstance. There's a couple different circumstances that can happen, but it happens, and like at the end of the day, like we want our clients to be happy because the goal is for you to come back.
Yeah, and tell other people about the work we do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not about that one deal. It's about
like
building a
any
relationship.
business. Like you're not going to have a sustainable business. Like people, oh, really? They're only in it for the money. They're this, that. Well, if they are, like any business, people will find out, and the compensation to that business will suffer, and they will go out of business.
Totally.
Like that's the beauty of the amazing country that we live in, is that most businesses don't survive. And the people behind it may have a good heart and good intentions, but like if you're not providing a service that's equal to the compensation that you're getting, like you're gonna go out of business.
Yeah.
But people, again, and I don't want it to come off as complaining, because we are compensated for our work plenty and like the things we do. But I do think sometimes it's a little unfair in the sense of people just kind of thinking, oh wow, what the hell are they doing? They're just kind of sitting there collecting, and it's on our backs. It's like, well,
but at the end of the day, that's just what we have to. Like, nobody's gonna go actively be like, what does a real estate agent do? Like, that's fine.
You have to show your value.
We have to show your value, exactly,
Yeah.
and that's totally okay. A little difficult in the beginning when we are just learning, so we're showing as much value as we possibly can. But then again, the best part about being on this team in particular, I think I've said this before, but like, if I really don't know something, I will tell you I don't know it, and I will just text you guys.
Yep.
And then if you guys don't know it and I don't know it, we'll ask another person in our office. I think that's really good working in an office, especially with the majority of the office being agents for 5, 10, 20 plus years. They know, they've been through this before.
They've forgot more than we probably know about real estate. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like they're just very knowledgeable.
Yeah. But it's really helpful.
Oh, for
because
sure.
I don't know a lot of things.
Yeah,
I
don't know. I mean, literally every day I have a new question about real estate. And like, I'm not a guru. I've only been in the business for some years, but like, every day I have something new that I'm learning and finding out, and that's the beauty of it. Always evolving, always getting better.
I like always
like this podcast. Every episode always gets better, but I think honestly we're kind of at about the time here to wrap this up.
Yeah.
But thank you guys if you made it this far for listening. This has been a fun one, and a kind of a little bit more
serious.
A little more serious. I mean, overall more serious. There's definitely been some moments that weren't, but that's part of what makes this the recap room. We appreciate you guys listening, and as always, we love ya.
Love you guys.
You ruined it.